so you counter the top side, so you get the good matchup. But I feel like most of the bottom teams, maybe T1 is a little like weird here, but I think you want to have insane pocket pick here.
Yeah,
That's
the
why we bring up
Morgana
this
pick
graphic.
was
What do you
kind
think
of
about this
insane.
one?
I mean, I play League of Legends on top
The
side
Morgana
like 10
pick
years
was kind
already,
of
but I know
crazy.
the
I'll
League of
give him
Legends is
that
so
much.
unfair. If you're good, you can blind pick. If you're good,
Oh yeah,
you can also counter pick.
this
It's
was
yeah.
kind of crazy.
So like the own
It's
specialty
so
pick,
sad. He's
it
the
works
only
so
one that
well.
won lane.
I mean, it is. I agree. Like
Absolutely
there is a risk
fucking
and
pummeled.
consequences are kind of big too. But I mean, that's the that's the professional player. You have to take a risk. How much you wanna earn on yourself.
Yeah. Again, big gambling on the top side of the map. It has been so important. As we take a look at some of the high win rate champions so far, Alistair at the top here, but there are so many that stand out with huge win rates.
So yeah, I think all these picks can fit in every single team comp, and
What
it's
is
gonna make
this?
the game easier. And that's the point of these picks. And I think like people forgot about the Sion. It's one of the great blind picks, but also it counters Jace right now, and I think it can be a great champion on the top lane once again. So I think all these picks make sense, and we kind of want to see on the top side because again, it's the meta of the lane dominance, and Rumble is just so OP, and we have the Rumble guy back.
Rumble guy is
Where's
back.
my Rumble? I'm back. Please bring the Rumble back. Like, I want to see the Rumble. I want to go ham on the player.
No, but you can't
Hells
really like
yeah,
see the
hells
Rumble
yeah,
because
hells
they're
yeah.
banning all the time. It's like,
So
do you
strong.
have any solution into Rumble? You actually need
I don't.
like ban all the
I
time?
can't. Honestly, if I play against my Rumble, I IFF 15.
Okay, no
Can't lane.
solution.
I can't lane.
No
Well,
solution.
it's not always good if we have these high win rates. That also means we've got some low win rates. Look at Ambessa at 15%
Oh yeah,
win rate,
rising
3
of
and
low
17,
win
and
rate is
has
kind of
not won
interesting
in
to
the
me
jungle
considering.
yet.
I think
Oh,
jungle and
well,
top both
now the
sides
Anivia
doesn't
pick
work
is like
because,
insane
for jungle, you
against the
want
Rise, and
only
Anivia in
jungler,
general
something
has just been like
Jarvan and Xin Zhao, so
crazy.
you can actually snowball faster.
been a
But
crazy
Ambessa
like
is not the champion
change,
for that one.
and Anivia's been in
K'Sante,
pro play for a
I mean,
fucking long ass
imagine
time.
you're blind picking K'Sante this meta.
It's you're not having fun this meta for sure. And also, as you see, like a lot of champions that it's
The
focused on
Aurora,
playmaking.
7
But
wins
the
and
thing is,
13
like,
losses.
It's not only that, like you have the first of all, you
13
have to
losses
be able
just
to
every
lane
time
against
Fake
the
has played
opponents,
it.
the champion, and especially I think Rise, like you have to snowball all the game, but especially these metas, like people found the older champion that is good against Rise, and also you're not actually getting a lot of thing all the game is with the Rise.
I was watching
So
this
I think
video
the people's
about
like really good
what's it
at
called?
against Rise.
Yeah, I mean, I
the
feel
Anivia
like
support counter. It
Mel,
was
Rise,
scarier
and
playing
Ezreal
Camille.
Having a
'cause,
low win rates makes sense
she can just
because
go
I
through
think
walls
those
and
champions
shit.
are kind of overrated. As you mentioned,
Honestly,
Anivia is such
wouldn't
a
be
good
surprised to see a
champion
fucking
against,
Kane
Ryze
support
and
coming
Mel.
at some
But
point. I
what
think Kane
happened to
support would be
Aurora?
kind of
I still
crazy.
feel like it's one of the great blind pick on the mid lane, and the top lane you can flex it. So I
It
feel
would
like
be a
it's
bit
kind
rough
of fake
early,
on
I
that
guess,
one. I still really
but-
like the champion, but
Yeah, and it is
again,
like melee, so
some low win rate champion.
hey, you just go
I
fucking
think-
blue fall.
Yeah,
and
you gotta
GG's.
drop that. Especially
Just go
don't
through the
pick
walls
Ezreal
against
Nico
Xenobia.
again on the bot side. I hate those.
Golly. I mean, I will say I like seeing Teddy on Ezreal. I will ask for that one pass here, we did, as we move on towards this week's schedule. As we do have a great way to start this week. It is Nongshim versus T1, and then the battle for first place. It's KT versus Hanwha Esports.
Around
and then
2
we take a look
starts
at your
from
interesting picks.
Friday.
It's DNS
Oh, yeah.
versus Bro in the battle of last place for Wadid, and Hanwha Esports and T1 to kick off round 2.
So to be clear, today's matchup is such a banger. It's Nongshim versus T1 and KT HLE. But I wanted to pick up DNS versus Bro, the battle of the bottom.
Ooh.
And it matters so much, Degon, right?
Why are you looking
Battle
at
of
me?
the
matters so
bottom,
much.
that's
Stop.
crazy.
But what did you pick?
Pause, chat
I
pause.
picked the Bros.
Yeah.
Of course I picked them.
Uh-huh.
I mean, also I picked the HLE against T1 because like as we kind of touched at the standings, there we can clearly see the top 2, but the bottom, the top 4, it's really big chance for T1 to actually can climb up.
Yeah, we'll see if they'll be able to do it, and we'll take a look at this week's predictions. A lot of split predictions here.
Interesting.
Mostly into round number 2. Round 1, today's second match, it's split. Hanwha and KT will break that one
KT
down
versus
after
Bro.
the first series. Umpty,
It's
the
over,
general,
bro.
who made
But-
his career. Wait,
but-
Rion.
Roma's
Voted
looking
for
real
the Supers
strong.
when both teams are 1-7
Against
That's kind of
Shaker.
nuts. And then the Hanwha T1 match.
Then
It's
again,
just me and
what the
Wadid,
fuck?
Weavers in the T1 Magic. Gen G
Yo,
and
yo,
D
yo,
plus.
chat,
That's gonna
don't
be
let that happen
a
again.
crazy one. another big split.
Mm-hmm.
And then what did you went with Kiwoom against Nongshim?
Yeah. Little bit of gamble.
Okay.
To be honest.
Big gamble.
Yeah, I'm being honest,
Interesting.
you know.
Huni, you've been away for a while. What is the most? What is the thing that you're looking forward to seeing the most out of the LCK this season?
Rumble.
Other than
I have
Rumble,
to.
it doesn't
Rumble.
look like you're gonna be able to.
I'm here for Rumble, man. Like you know, I am who I am. Have to see. But I mean, it's just kind of too OP, so we'll see.
Huni's
And
kind of
all
funny. I like
think
him.
it's really interesting
I
too.
like
Like
Huni.
when I was not actually in the LCK Global, or outside of the when I was just viewers. I want to see more interactions like between like there's the top 2, the top 4, and we can
I'll
kind
be
of
right
clear
back.
see the
Give me
wall,
1
right?
second.
So want to see like go over the wall.
And we're gonna start off with the Nongshim T1 today, and I think both teams. It doesn't matter what team they're facing against. It really depends on just their own performance right now. So I feel like it's one of the match that we might struggle to find some good highlight. But I'm so excited to see the circus from both teams today.
Absolutely. The circus was fantastic over at home ground last weekend. They're looking to try and build upon that legacy that they built in the in-stadium matches. For Nongshim, they need to find a way to get some consistency, whether that's in the solo lanes, whether that's following your Hyung with Lahens down on the bottom side of the map.
Oh,
the Noodle
yeah,
Boys,
baby.
they're great when they win, and it's tough when they lose. Let's see how they do here in the first match of week
Oh,
number
sorry.
5. It's T1.
It's
Nongshim.
an
We'll see you
LCK
after
angle.
game
I was
number
gonna play League, but I realized I have so many assignments. Hello, Ashford. I have so many assignments due this week. I was like, I'm just gonna fucking go live, watch the LCK because I really want to watch the LCK as well and do some assignments. Went to go get my laptop.
Nice.
Oh, hello, Ivan. You ready to watch?
Yeah.
You ready to watch?
Who would-
Nongshim get absolutely fucked?
You sure?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Shakers. Oh, I mean Faker.
Wait, do you know Faker's the worst KD right now?
Yeah, I know,
apparently.
it's so bad. It is so bad. What's it called? Oh, wait.
Oh wait, maybe not
intro.
KD, but it was like the
It's
solo
so-
kill to solo death ratio.
No, Anis.
And it's KD?
KD not also just ass at the moment.
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
He's the weak link in T1 at the moment, and they have Doran,
Yo,
and we have Doran.
we have Doran.
My goat's washed, bro. My goat's actually washed.
Bro, even if I say Doran shit in chat, like no one gives a fuck. They actually agree with me. That's how bad he is.
But you gotta throw a little bit. You feel me? Any throwers in chat. Any throwers.
Yeah, that Chovy.
Oh, yo, Doran.
Oh, oh no, no.
Wait, what was my boss today, bro? Today
Some-
it's T1
majestic
versus
shit.
Nongshim. I hope Faker wins because he is him.
Oh, Zeka keeps mugging my screen.
Oh, W touch.
Whoa.
I watched the clip. I watched the clip of Guma reacting to it. And he's like, bro, they made us do some gay ass shit. I don't know why the fuck they made us touch each other's hands. It's actually hilarious.
LSEK. Whoa, pairs of twins of towers. What the fuck is that?
T1 fighting! Nongshim
Whoa.
fighting!
Wait, is it Faker?
Wait, I guess I actually guessed it.
Yo.
Oh wait,
Oh.
that's who's,
All of Doran's fans are just women.
SK fighting!
Wait,
Cosplay? Our next.
casting today. Is it
Greetings,
Valdez?
ladies and gentlemen,
Valdez.
and welcome to the
Yeah, that
LCK.
is
We're getting
Valdez.
ready for our first match of the night. T1 up against Nongshim Red Force.
Best host.
for what seems like the first
Valdez
time in a long
and Wolf,
time,
bro?
this actually isn't the highlight
Valdez
match
is
of
the
the
best, in
day.
my
You know,
opinion.
generally
He
when
always
everyone's
be
playing,
saying
it's
shit.
like, well, they've got a lot
Bro,
of
low-key,
fans. A lot of people are
my
going to be tuning in
favorite
for this
combo
one, but we have
is,
KT versus
Wolf
HLE
and-
later
Wolf
tonight
and
as well.
Atlas.
It's just a
Atlas.
fantastic
I like
day
that
of
Valdez
games.
and
It
Atlas.
really is. I
The
mean,
game
when you
will get
consider that
boring
we
as fuck
have
if they're
that
just
battle for
talking
first place
about
later
the
on, but
random ass
also
shit.
have a somewhat
I
struggling
don't know why
T1
people
looking
hate
for a
that.
4-series
what do you
win
want me to do
streak
when
here,
the
but did have
motherfuckers
a
are
lot of
laning?
problems in their matches over the weekend,
Hello,
despite taking the
Cooper Knight.
4-0. A lot of those were a little bit too close for comfort.
He's
Against
streaming.
Inoxium, that's having a
I'm
really good
streaming.
season here, have had some downs, but have also looked really consistent. So
he's cage
it's
roll.
just a banger day. We've
I'm
got a
cage
lot
roll,
of
I
League of
like
Legends
cage roll.
packed into 2
I
best of 3s today.
craziest-
And we are, of course, going to.
Yeah,
we
hell yeah,
cannot
give
talk
me-
about T1
Look at
without
that sub,
talking
look
about
at that
Carrier
sub.
extending his contract until
appreciate it.
2029.
This
He
was
resigns
this
with
made my
T1
week. This
for
made my
3
week.
more years, and this happens right after
Yo.
he picks up 4
Yo, Mod, what are we
POMs
doing?
in a row, and a bit
Nah, Shay,
emotional
you
as
can't see
well
YouTube chat.
during that
Shay.
moment. And
It's
you
a-
can understand
Oh, fuck.
because it's a big
Oh, wait,
commitment,
you got-
and
you
it
got
also
motion on
means a lot.
YouTube, or-
Carrier
I
has
got
really made
motion on
his name
YouTube, bro.
through
I
the
give me
T1
mod.
organization, and to commit to even more years
I don't know how
is
to do that.
huge.
Exactly, but he had a great start on DRX. No one
bye.
could take that away from the
Alright,
DRX
no, no,
org,
bye.
but has won
It's
so
bye
many
official.
world championships
I'm here.
on T1, despite losing one to his old org in DRX there, and a close friend to Deft. But to sign for 3 more years with a career he already has is
I
almost a statement that you will
I
end
love
your
to play
career on
games.
this team, and that is an incredible statement from Carrier of how much this org means to him. As they walk out here with Nongshim, he faces off against Lehens today, and Faker will face
Where did you
off
make that comment?
against
Did you make the
Scout
comment on
for the
the
first
video one or the
time since
YouTube
Worlds
Shorts one?
2023.
Your
Old
description
trainee.
on YouTube.
Once
is my
a
description?
former team, or once a
I am
teammate, now a
Throne27,
former teammate.
and
Of
I love
course,
Oh my God, is it
3 years
actually?
later.
Yeah, please support
And I
me
think
by
a lot of
liking the
T1
video,
fans
subscribing.
will
Comment
remember
down below,
that I
hashtag
predicted
I sit on
LNG
the throne.
controversially
Oh my,
in that
is
series
the
because
most
of Scout,
homosexual
and I
shit
was
I've
very
ever heard in
vocal
my
that
life.
Scout was the better mid laner at the time. Faker dominated him, crushed him, and they have not faced
Ah, you're
off
moderating.
since.
Oh, W.
Yeah, the
Were you a
3-0
code?
really didn't do that prediction any
You scared them away,
any
bro.
favors for sure.
Yeah, my bad.
And yeah, I mean, it really comes down to T1, especially Faker, their ability to show up when it comes to international tournaments, especially Worlds. And
Nah, you gotta hop on. You gotta hop
now
on
we're
the
going to
YouTube
get
shorts.
into
You
the
gotta hop on
nitty-gritty
YouTube
between
shorts
these
live.
2 teams. Curious to see if
That's where the
Gnome
motion's at.
who have
That's where the
also,
motion's
you know, they have a really tough strength
Chat,
of
we streaming on
schedule
TikTok?
right
Oi,
now. They went up against
Doran?
Humalife Esports,
Doran?
Gen G, and now T1. Just 3 matches
Wow.
in a row.
I hope
And the
Doran,
first couple of
Why is he so
matches did not go
cute,
well.
bro?
hope Doran finds what he's looking
Well,
for.
that's why I'm saying
Everyone knows
this is
that
a
frantic
We're
moment where you're
fan
searching through
favorite.
your backpack and you know it's in there.
But I
You
forgot his
swear you put
mouse.
it in there in the morning, but you could not, in fact,
Wait, they're
find it in
sponsored
there,
by Noodles?
whatever this he is looking for. But I
Right?
am
That's the Noodle
most
brand.
intrigued by
Yeah,
the top side
that's the
matchup
brand.
here,
That's the brand.
including
Wait.
junglers, right? Top jungle
You're trolling.
between Sponge and Owner.
Yeah, I don't
mean,
know.
Owner has had some ups and downs. Has been a little bit more on the
Wait, they have to
upswing
win.
very recently.
Those are
And then
delicious.
Kingen versus
No,
Doran.
but Faker's
Doran
got
has
Rami
had
now.
certainly
I
some
mean,
struggles in
Rami-
terms of getting
Rami-
solo killed in
Rami
his
is
laning phase,
different.
but is still
It's
making
different.
big impacts outside
And he's got
of the laning
McDonald's.
phase. And Scout versus Faker is a really interesting one because we've seen Scout really enjoys
You
spending
think- you
all of
think
his
Scout
time in the
pulls
side
up
lane and
his,
not
yeah,
joining team
and
fights
we
until
get
very
to
late.
Faker-
Has really been
Faker
trying to
comes
push
with it,
advantages
yeah.
outside of team fights. But
Faker
he
Kai's
has
not gonna
played
hit,
a
bro.
lot of these
I'm not
counter
gonna
picks
hate.
into the Azir.
Nah,
Play the Akali, but he'll
always
also
hits,
play the
bro.
LeBlanc,
It hits,
for
but, like,
example.
Well,
And
why is he
Faker
What's wrong with
has
him?
really struggled
He's
on Azir
jacking.
recently.
Wow.
1,100
Straight jacked on
LCK.
stage.
I mean, think
Yeah.
about that.
Wait,
Look at who's
wait, why
second
isn't
here.
he
BDD at
meditating?
867.
Miles
Wait,
Because he's
why
chill.
is he
Even
cocky
Low
right
cortisol.
retired.
Low
You have to go
cortisol.
all the way down to
Why
Keen,
is he low cortisol
who's
and cocky
like
right
300 behind before you get to the next one.
Wait, he's got a Spotify sponsor?
Crazy.
Yeah,
What's he
and
singing,
I'm sure that
bro?
number is just going to continue going up
Legends never
for this
die.
guy who
Legends never
continues
die.
to
There's only one thing
re-sign
Faker loves more than
contracts
League of
himself
Legends, and that's
continue on for more
McDonald's
and more
sponsorship
years.
money.
No signs of slowing down anytime
Hell yeah, fuck
soon
the kids in Gaza.
that department.
I mean, to play for an organization for
It's all
15
good
years
though.
in
T1's
esports is
sponsored by
unheard
Arabs.
of. And barring some crazy
means that T1
circumstance
is
that prevents him
Hamas.
from doing that, like he's on his
Halal
way,
jacket.
which is just insanity. Here's T1's newest member though, in Pays
Hayes is
in the
also
bottom
so
lane.
cute, man.
We have seen
Oh
Pays
shit, wait, they got
have
this
a
guy?
lot of solid laning performances, heavily probably
Yeah.
in part
Evil
and
genius.
influenced by
They
Karia's
had
laning
Toronto.
performances we have seen. With him pulling out
It's
the
like
Lux
Dr.
several times.
Doofenshmirtz.
I think this is going to be a
What?
tall ask here for Nongshem.
And, like,
This is why I
Karia's-
said for Nongshem, I
Karia's
think the
like
main
tiny
place you want to keep
platypus.
your eyes on is the top
What
jungle.
the-
Okay,
Yeah,
something
that's
special.
There's just
That's
too many
the
picks
closest
this
thing I
guy
could
can
think of.
play. There are
Yeah.
too many
Oh, yeah.
ways you can lose lane.
Karia's gonna whip something
Yeah,
out of his
Taeyun
asshole tonight.
Has had his ups and downs for sure.
Do not.
Since
He's
he
gonna
goes
whip out
all
this
the way
Zen
back
support,
to
bro.
Casper
Also,
Cup,
Lehens
but
is the guy
Luke
who
is stronger
did
now,
Singe
but
support.
to put him on the same caliber as FaZe and
Wait,
Carrier
look,
right
why
now in
does
terms of
all
laning
T1 look chill
2v2
as
with
fuck today?
Lehens, I think would
Why
be
do they
a
look like
pretty
they actually
bold
still give a
and
fuck?
controversial statement. It won't be
Probably
one
a
on
Low
dinner.
cortisol gaming,
I
dude.
don't
Low
think
There's
cortisol.
actually
really
no
anyone
cortisol
would make
gaming.
that statement at this point in time, except maybe some diehard fans. But Nongshem going to select the blue
Is that
side.
easy?
T1 go
Is that
ahead
easy
and
hook?
take first pick after that. So T1 definitely a team that
Was it
has
easy?
been
It's on Mata.
focusing on getting
yeah,
first
Mata,
pick as
Mata.
often as possible when they have right of first selection, as we saw on that really nice graphic at the start of the day in the pre-show.
Alright,
So they're going to utilize that, maybe try to get
Mbessa.
Ben, Ben.
Oriana or Nazir for Faker
Let's
has been his
go!
go-to.
I'm the goat. I'm
Could
actually
be one of
the
those
goat.
They're gonna pick
situations
Mbessa.
where
They're gonna
one of
pick
the rare
Mbessa.
ones where T1 could even consider
Comma
banning the
Ben?
I don't know
Azir
who.
themselves because Faker's
Comma Ben?
performances on it haven't been great, and Scout has been the best Azir here
Oh,
in LCK
whoa.
2026. BDD hasn't had that many
Wait, I
opportunities to
lost
play
Aura. I
it.
actually lost
Jovi's
Aura.
had a few good games on it as well, but
What if they ban?
Bard will be taken away from
Nocturne?
Carrier. The Rumble goes away
That'd be
because it's
pretty
first
funny.
pick here for T1, so that one's gone. Sorry, Huni. That's going to be a trend. See what this
Ryze
final
Ben?
Oriana
will
ban.
be here for T1.
Maybe a Nivea ban.
Could be a LeBlanc ban if they do want to first pick the Azir,
Oh,
but you still have
Akali
to potentially
ban.
face that
Oh, whoa.
Akali, and they'll ban the Varus instead.
There's just too many OP things, especially
think
when you're
Scout's
first
sitting
pick.
there
You
like,
really want to make
oh,
sure that you're
T1's
not
first
giving
pick, they're
over
gonna take
two
the Azir.
OP picks in the meta. Like if they were going to go
So I'm
for
not so
Azir, you don't want to
scared.
give Oriana
Oh,
and
who said Oriana
Varus or
ban?
anything like that.
Who said
Oriana,
Oriana?
of course,
W
also
Oriana
going to be
ban.
banned here.
Karma.
And that leaves Karma.
Oh.
Karma available here
Wait,
for
they
Carrier.
didn't first pick Azir
There's lane
for the
dominance we've
first
seen
time
on
ever?
a lot of other picks that don't necessarily win lane.
Oh
We'll
shit.
see what
Wait,
he
they
does on
actually
the one that
humbled Faker.
always
Yeah,
wins
it's not
lanes.
really.
Yeah, and
Not
you
really
can't
winning them
pick
games.
Jarvan because unless you're going to take Ezreal away, you're
I think
just
they
not
need
gonna
to sub
have
out
much
Faker, bro.
efficacy
Like,
on that
That's-
pick from the
that's
jungle.
not
So
fan
maybe they have
service
to
if he's
go
losing.
For Xin Zhao, or maybe they do take away that Ezreal.
No, for the Ezreal here first, they could go with the Jarvan with it,
Circus.
and that is what they're going to do. So good read by you, and Nongshem also realizing that they can pick this Ezreal pickup. Taeyun's been a pretty decent Ezreal. There's still a lot of other picks that parallel with the
It's
Karma
not an
it'll
Nocturne
be-
game.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't even necessarily have to grab it right here. It can grab
Who's
owners
gonna pick?
Xin, that he is famed for. I think that's very likely. And maybe we'll see Faker's Azir.
Oh.
However,
Oh.
not a flex really in this situation, at least not in the support role.
Okay, his Anivia's clean. His Anivia's clean.
Looks like he's going to pick up the Anivia, which does deter a potential Ryze pick later on. I'm
Yeah.
worried, though, about what it could mean in other tougher matchups that he might face off
Wait, what if
against
it's fucking
in,
Anivia top, bro?
Scout's mid lane pick.
Maybe.
And we've
Xin Zhao
seen-
makes a lot of sense for
Yeah.
Owner. I mean, he was always going to pick that. It's one of the top three
Wait,
jungles
we
at
haven't
the
seen the
moment, and
Anivia
he's very
flicks,
famed for it.
ADC
I
yet.
think I'd rather see
It's
a
possible.
support
It's
pick
APC.
here for Lehens
Anivia
now
APC.
than getting Scout's counter pick into the Anivia, especially considering the Anivia could still technically be picked top.
Oh
They
shit,
disagree.
it's real.
And they will get the Azir themselves here. Really interesting draft we have
Really,
here for
really
Nongshem. And
interesting.
now a lot of those range supports likely
Father,
going to be
I
banned
took your
away
pick.
for T1 to make sure this lane remains dominant. Caitlyn,
Oh
of
shit.
course, was going to be banned. That's the next on the
Actually
list.
fucked up.
They
He's
don't
still
have
the
Varus,
dad's
they don't have
pick.
Ezreal
Goddamn.
with this Karma.
Next on the list is Jin. Jin Karma also very strong, and something that a lot of T180 carries, including Pays, can always hop onto and can do pretty well into the Ezreal.
So they're going to ban Jace, as they feel pretty confident that they don't think there's much left available for
Stepping on
lanes to
it?
play to go toe-and-toe in this lane.
Stepping on
And
it?
they're probably happy to face off against a melee support if that's where he decides to go
Wait,
with
that's
this.
Zeus's father.
Actually kind of
Hey.
like this angle. Protect Doran a little bit on the
True,
top side.
true.
Was he Doran's
Misfortune,
father?
I think, is
though?
one pick that also works well with Karma, but I think they're
Nah,
100% going to
Doran,
ban the
Doran
Jin here.
is Zeus's father as well.
Oh,
And
okay.
even though it's not necessarily a Jin draft. Wow, okay, Sivir, which
Doran is everyone's
a
father.
lot of wave
low-key.
clear in this draft
True.
if they had given
That's
over
why
to
he's
Sivir.
always letting
I
them
mean,
Jin
like
isn't perfect
track
with
over
T1's
him, 'cause
comp,
that's
though,
what
I will
dads
say.
do.
Sivir
They
Actually,
they could
see.
is
thrive.
good into Ezreal individually.
Yes, who's
I
playing
do feel
Unara?
like it does not
Who's
very
playing
much
Jhin?
enjoy Azir and
Jarvan?
especially Jarvan.
Yeah.
With the
Is
Cataclysm.
Unara
I
combo
feel
good?
like yes, Jin has a similar issue, but he's generally very far away
sort of.
compared to Sivir, who's
Probably.
short range and has to be up against the Jarvan and can get cataclysmed. You can force the flashes
Preferably
very
tank
easily. I
support.
feel like the Sivir ban.
Oh,
Pretty
Leona
interesting.
ban.
The Leona ban now could be a Nautilus angle here for
Is he
Nongshim, but
retarded?
Eco is up, and it's going to make
Hayes'
very
Jin's
upset.
pretty good. Like he plays
But
it
it is
against like
one of those
Jarvan
range
and
supports
shit.
that was left.
Nautilus is banned, Valdez?
Yeah, I
Are
forgot
you
Nautilus was banned in
retarded?
the first phase. Thank you for pointing that
Jin.
out to me, Valdez.
Jin is just so obvious here.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't-
very surprised they didn't ban this.
I don't really see what else they would have played here. It's not the greatest angle for MF. And Baker's going to get the
Oh.
Akali. And we could have, I was going to mention earlier, we saw the Jace ban. It is playable in the top lane, but also the Anivia can be played top lane. Ban the
It is a
Jace.
Divya top.
This is
Well,
going to
unless
force
it's a
King
Kali.
to make
Maybe,
a pretty
maybe,
tough
maybe.
decision here.
It's
I wanna
gonna
see
be
Fake
Annie-
with the Kali.
It's gonna be King and Annie top.
A lot of people have picked
King
Anivia
and-
into Kingen, actually, who played a lot of top Anivia himself.
A bit too much magic
And,
damage.
Yeah, I mean, still technically flexible between the two.
Oh, Sion.
I like
the
this
Anivia.
because you have so much damage. You have the 2-item spike of the Ezreal. You have the late game Azir. It's going to be a side lane threat as well.
It's gonna be
And you have
lethality
Nico
Sion.
for engage, and this
I'll
Sion
leave.
is just going to be a brick wall, and it will weather the storm in either matchup. You assume it's going to be the
I guess
Anivia
you're
top,
tank,
but
though.
that could have been something they swapped at last minute if Kingen played something else that the Akali was stronger into. But the Sion is just going to feel pretty safe to weather the storm here into this Anivia. Also, this is such a big test for Faker because he has had so many struggles on the other side of this matchup in very recent games, including his first ever 9
they
death
claimed
game
him
of
If
Azir
Faker loses this
in his
matchup,
career. But now
maybe
we'll
he's
see if
just
he can
ass.
actually put
Yeah,
the
he
screws
could.
into this Azir matchup and actually really put the pressure on.
Now, every time he
Scout,
has a
like he
vacation,
did
it comes back
all the
like
way
he
back
starts
in
to cook.
2023 in Busan and the
But
World
he had a
Semifinal.
vacation already.
You and I were there in the crowd watching it live.
Did he really though?
And we'll see if history
Yeah, he
repeats
lost
itself here
fucking
again. So many
LCK though.
storylines as Pays
He
also
was
faces off against
out
Lehen,
for like
a
month and a
his
half,
former
2 months.
support
Yeah, but he's probably
on
like
the bottom line.
grinding and shit.
Yes,
Still, having like a
sitting there.
full vacation.
I thought
Cheering
they
on the
went to
LCK.
Dubai.
LCK fighting, it says, on the left.
It's high
As
cortisol.
it is
You know what?
pandemonium
They
week.
probably played League of
We're getting ready for this first matchup between
I hate
Nongshim and
Dubai.
T1.
Fake ass
This
face.
is definitely a big first test for them in this game number 1. Going up
Dubai's
against
pretty
Faker's
strange.
Akali. We'll see if he can do well on this side of the matchup
Dubai
as we
like
hop into the
boo-boo.
rift for game number
The
1.
boo boo. Dubai chocolate.
Viral Dubai chocolate.
Yeah, blood. Oh, Scott's gonna die. Scott's gonna die. Kali's for the fight?
I'm just gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Here we go,
Wait,
game
they're
number
pinging
1
him. They're
starting.
question marking
It
him.
already
Question marking
feels
him.
Oh, they know,
like
they know.
we're
They know his shit.
back at the T1
Shenanigans.
home ground, even though this is just
Oh,
Lal Park.
outrage.
Wait,
outrage.
Carrier got clapped.
TTJ Lal Park.
Lane
Hosting
lost.
a lot of
Unlucky.
T1 fans
Actually,
today.
they lost.
I am always excited to watch a T1 game that has
Oh, wait,
high
wait,
stakes, right?
wait,
5-3 right now.
W trades. W trades.
Just the extra game
Oh,
ahead
oh,
of Nongshim at this moment in time, as we're going to see an aggressive heal
Good heal.
trade
Good heal.
here. As this would mean so much for Nongshim to bounce back if they were able to get this upset win, but also for T1 to continue
lay
that
hands your ass.
streak, move up
Cheeks,
to 6
cheeks,
and
absolute
3, and really
cheeks.
solidify their spot as a top team here in LCK
Yo, yes.
2026. It's definitely a matchup that people came into
minus
thinking
one. Rip,
T1
rip,
will
rip.
likely
Wait,
win.
no, it's not.
But we'll wait and see with Nongshim having
got
some
6.
over performances a lot
Oh, wait.
this year.
How do you get
already.
that?
He's got 5.
Oh shit.
Wait, 6
Yeah,
7.
I feel like Nongshim, you know, definitely one of
Look at
these.
that.
Oh, going in for the root, and Lehen sets it up already on the
He's
pace.
so
Who is super
fucked.
low. The flashes come through, and Tatum
Wait,
picks up
Carrier's
first blood.
taking every
That's
single
going to be
shot.
huge for this lane.
We know there's an old adage.
That was
Hey,
like a
it's
little
only
hands of
say
diff.
here on
Hands
the
diff.
global
GG's, bro.
broadcast that Pays was a huge contributing factor to Lehens' growth.
Wow.
Sorry, I said it backwards, but hold
Any,
on.
I don't know he does this type of
Any
shit.
overstayers?
Yes. in the
Oh,
bottom.
nice.
Okay, everything's kind of missing, but eventually Tatum just dies. He doesn't have flash. And now the wave's in a rough spot for the Nongshim bot lane.
Yeah, at least he had to kill. At
He's
least he
gonna
had to
shield
kill.
himself as Pays
wait,
shows
wait,
up here.
And old as he is?
You know, Lehens may have contributed a lot to Pays' growth and
Wait,
to his death
hold
there
on.
with the flash forward into the root, but they stayed
T1
too long
won that
when it
fight.
comes to the bottom side, and it's a trade back. I still think this favors the bottom lane of Nongshim. They get the kill onto the Ezreal.
Ezreal's
Great
still more
angle here
golden,
for
Jen.
Lehens.
Has
Pace
he?
hopes he can actually
Yes.
fight his way out of it with the
Because
barrier
he's
there
the one
and
in
flash
control.
away. But it is just too much damage. After the root comes through, the guaranteed empower comes. And Taeyeon here, they do not have vision in the river at all.
But that does put the
Just
jungler
not
up,
expect
though,
this great
so
sidestep, but ultimately, it's not enough.
more pressure on the map for early game.
Yeah, not much you can do in that position, but we're gonna have to wait and see how that does
Javin's
treat the
that
bottom
next
lane of
move.
Nongshin. They are ahead on gold, even though down on CS because of what happened with the lane. As Jarvan is on a 6-game winning streak here. Overall, just 19 and 14, so not a crazy win rate, but a lot of games played. As
Hey, what are you
Ezreal
aiming for, bro?
himself on a 7-game losing streak. And now
Oh,
Lunge, a
Shaker.
gank in a mid lane. Faker is in the shroud and is Akali, but doesn't seem to have a shuriken. His backflip doesn't need
He's
it at the end of the
alive.
day.
Wait, he still has flash.
The scout does
Oh,
not
wow.
follow there. Thought perhaps they might look for a little bit more damage. Now
Oh,
Sand
wait,
Soldiers in
wait,
the
What if
spot
Scout
to,
solo kills him?
do more to Faker there, and we're happy
Well, he's
with
like,
the
no way,
exchange.
though.
Faker does not flash though, and Faker avoided
Wait, Faker still
with
has
the shroud
flash.
that first auto. So prefer stop the red buff from going off. That's annoying.
Wow, what a little
That's
rat.
scummy.
Yeah, not much you can do about that. Scout just gonna
What a
go for
little
a back.
rat.
And
Oh,
he has
-1.
TP, so it is just fine.
Go.
Yeah.
Curious to see what Scout builds as his first item. I do know that
Wait, Faker got more gold though. Faker got
doing
more
the
gold.
space with what did, and he was mentioning how Faker always goes for a very
I love when they get the
aggressive
last CS to E and
damage-focused
then they hit
item
the
build
back.
on Azir, which may have led to a lot of his woes in the matchup into Akali because he still win for, you know, lethal tempo. You know, Nasher's first, just very
Doran's got
aggressive
no
DPS
mana.
build. But you can see that grasp has been taken here by Scout.
You know when you die
And if he
as
goes
a
for
Virginia
the
egg,
rocket belt first,
do you
and
get
definitely
mana
have a
back
much
or
easier
no?
time surviving against the Akali early on.
Yeah, I
I
think
think you
that's
get a
definitely
portion
the
of it
thought
back.
process behind this
okay.
Keystone choice, and we'll see if that does come to pass. You get so many stats from that, as we're gonna have a bit of a skirmish here around Nongshim's side of the jungle.
Oh, W jungler. W
Not
jungler.
really a true skirmish, I suppose. They opt out. Definitely some tension there. King and stop the back. I'm just going to clear this wave. Neither top laner has teleported just yet, but Kingen finds himself in a pretty nice CS lead as a Scion into Anivia. So with this TP, a lot of that will be evened up, but a nice little bit of tempo gained. And Kingen has his ultimate, so doesn't even
Yo,
necessarily
stop the-
have to teleport back to lane.
Was that -1 for the cannon on
You can
Taeyeon's
see
side?
that Sponge just hanging around down
I'm
here on the
sure.
bottom side of the map,
I was just thinking how
waiting
good
for the
Lehen's
Scuttle Crab, it
Qs
looks
are.
like,
Yeah,
trying
Lance is
to
doing some crazy
Ooh.
shit.
boost his way to level 6. He is,
Kigen's coming bottom.
yeah.
Well,
They want to make
Yo,
something of
okay.
this.
No, no,
They're gonna
no,
have to
no,
hold
no,
them
no,
here
no,
for
not there,
a
buddy.
while.
I feel like they can, especially because Owner's pretty far away. You can see that Owner is coming on over. We do have the heal used early on by Keria, just going to get the root down, but now the Scion
Scion
and
doing
Paze is up
that?
against the wall against 4 Noxian
Whoa.
members,
Wait,
and
that's
eventually
crazy.
it's as simple as that. As the kill does go to Lehens, unfortunately, but a kill's a kill, denies some
Okay,
farm
good
from
for
Paze.
Lehens.
You could see the
Oh, they
timing where
fucked
Owner
up with
started
that
coming
one.
over. I think Doran probably shared some information like, hey, the Scion isn't back yet. We haven't heard his ultimate
Okay, but
yet.
Jin's
He hasn't
leading now.
TP'd. It looks likely that he might be heading bottom side there, but this immobile Jin just isn't able to do anything there without more support, and they are able to focus him down. And that is going to be, with the back timing here, it's just going to be a dragon
If we
going
see a
over to
fucking
T1 in
Kim
exchange.
pixel, it's actually kind of
As this is a pretty big lead for Taeyeon, but it's not the
Mountains
end
will
of
be
the
so good
world
for,
for T1's composition for
Nongshim,
the
though.
Jin to be behind like this. So watch this one more time. See Owner's heading over. Keria is going to get zoned away. And unfortunately, the kill here is going to go over to Lehens. Would have felt way better if that went to Taeyeon or Sponge even.
Yeah, definitely a bit unfortunate, but still a good play.
Someone
It's
just
something
faked
that
a solo
Kingen
kill
has,
Scout
definitely
again?
done in the
real?
past. A little gank like
Normally
that
he
on
gets
the
solo kill
Scion.
right now.
Definitely something you want to mix into your play if you do play Scion a lot. As Taeyeon going to get rooted up here, but we do have Lehens in the minion wave.
Nice hit. Oh,
Taeyeon
bro.
pretty low.
Oh,
Still sticking
go.
around. That's level 6
Oh.
now for Paze, who is going to land 2, and at Lehens, that's 3. Waiting for the 4th one. Gonna miss
Aye.
both throws, as Faker looks like he went deep for a
Go.
turret
What the fuck
plate,
is he
which he
doing?
did get,
Yo,
but now he
nah,
doesn't have
my
flash
goats
or ult
watch.
or health bar or TP.
Got plate gold though.
Yo,
There's,
what is he doing?
Taeyeon and Lehens here with level 6 for Taeyeon.
I just don't see the
teasing
vision.
idea of
I don't
staying
see
for
the
another
vision,
wave,
you know?
but Owner is coming down. He knows he has control over the bottom side jungle. It's going to take Sponge a little bit
Vision?
longer to get down here.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
about to
yeah.
die.
Though,
No,
this
no,
could
you don't have the
backfire in a
vision,
big
you
way
have
for
the vision.
T1.
Alright,
True shot.
yeah, that's why I
Oh,
always
please
do
don't
this.
Oh.
I think they see Sponge full health, level 6, and they just say, well, we gotta respect this as we have Azir coming on over, and now Owner is just gonna go in.
Oh.
Hold on,
You are dead. And a bunch of damage already
That's what I'm
done.
saying, Owner's the
as well.
GOAT.
Pay's gonna flash aggressively here to get to Owner, but now Scout a little bit isolated, and Faker's making his way over. Scout in a
Only
lot
if
of
this
trouble.
twat
Gets
had
knocked
ult,
up,
bro.
does flash the roof, but now Sponge isolated.
Oh.
And he gets executed by
wait,
Faker.
hold
And
on.
T1 turned this into a big fight for them.
That's such a great
So
play
we need
from
triple
Owner,
kill.
that flash
He had R.
there. It
And then-
allows him to secure a kill as well as then buy the additional space for the Akali to show up. And
Don't
while the
fucking bring
rest
your
of the team is getting
Netanyahu as
corralled
best
away,
viewers
pushed
bot
away,
chat into my
the
chat.
Azir then
The
gets
fuck
left
outta
out
here.
front. So this flash here from Owner, phenomenal. Gets the Crescent Guard up, guarantees that he will survive here. Sponge is now on the left side of the fight without really any tools, and then Scout is unfortunately without really any damage at this point, unable to secure anything
I
here.
feel
Gets
like
knocked up,
Nongshim could have
forced
won
to
this.
flash
They just
away.
played it really like
Sponge
wrong.
left out
They
to
played it
dry.
like pussies and lost their lives.
Really painful here for Nongshim because the initial setup was great. They had their jungler coming down. They were able to save the wave there. Or rather, wait for the wave
Maybe
there
the
and kind
Owner
of bait
outplays
the
too
idea
strong,
of it
you know?
as Sponge was
Maybe
coming
he
out,
would've-
but
actually way too
ultimately
strong.
backfires in
He was
a
meant
huge
to
way.
die.
Now Faker
He's
is the
too
one with
good.
the gold lead in the mid lane.
Yeah, it's going to
Wait,
feel
6-7?
really nice. He
6-7.
has a gold lead. We've got Owner very far ahead. 2 kills. He is ahead on XP by a decent margin. On top of all that gold that he did get, and we know
Holy
what
shit,
Owner
why
can
did
do
free
with
Ezreals?
on Xinjiao. And yeah, now even this bottom lane doesn't feel quite as good.
Oh.
She pays in carry.
That's toxic.
Getting a decent amount of
Lehans
damage
more like
into
Levent over,
Lehans.
bro.
And Sponge had flash, by
Yeah.
the way, in that play. He could have flashed the Shuriken. Even if his flag drag was, you know, a couple seconds away, just didn't respect the damage of Faker
T1
just
bot lane
yet.
is so behind in
You know,
XP.
an Akali without a first item, it's a bit understandable, but at the same time, if he just flashes it, that's 1 kill less that you give over to T1.
Yeah, I
Let's go
think
for it, man.
maybe the thought process there for Sponge is I want to have my flash for the upcoming fight. I want to continue to be aggressive bottom side. I want to try to shut down this Karma Jin
Who's your
lane
daddy?
even further because that's where they have the advantage right now. And perhaps just holding the
Yeah,
flash there
the
instead
hell
of risking it. As
combo?
Faker's
It's going to be pushed in. Does have the backflip, but
Lehens here.
Lehens is coming on over. As Faker says, well, might just try to go
Big
in on
hits.
this one. He does have his perfect execution. He's just running away from Lehens for now, and he dodges the roots, and eventually just gets killed by Lehens.
Oh.
As a nice little gank from Lehens into the mid lane as Faker over-aggressive there.
the bottom side of the map. I think Owner wanted to try to turn this into something with Lehens being mid, obviously roaming,
Why
missing
didn't he
here in the
R him
bottom
when
lane,
he was like
but
behind him?
Isn't able to turn it into anything as Sponge shows up. Has his Cataclysm available. Top side, we did see King and ult Doran.
I don't
and
know,
got some
my-
grasp stacks, but it won't
My
amount
goat's
to
getting
too
old,
much.
man.
Scout gonna
Ah.
nicely dodge this. And Faker's lead diminishes a little bit, but he's still got a
Still got a lead,
significant
still got a
one
lead.
over Scout.
He's an
It's the
item
bottom
up.
lane, especially now with
Yeah.
Lehens picking up 2 kills in this game, where things are really looking quite nice. As Faker is very aggressive here. Scout has the angle to
Could R
finish
him
here,
like,
even with
here,
the Shroud.
go to the
Faker
bush.
does not expect Lehens to come up here. They're trying to set up a dive on the bottom side at the same time, so there's any chance
Just
that
know about
either the
Lehens.
support or jungler could be
Understandable.
mid here
Yeah,
for
also, I don't think
T1.
you can R over
It's a really nice
minions.
angle there that Lehens
No, like
did
R
as
him.
Scout sets it up.
Scout? Nah, he was low. He
Yeah.
would have taken
And
so
you're
much
talking about
fucking
that dive
tower
in the bottom
damage.
lane. Looks like once they saw Sponge,
Wait, no,
they
no,
kinda
out
just backed
of-
away,
out of the
which,
tower.
Definitely the right
Oh.
call.
You could just walk
Especially,
forward this,
Oh, yeah,
with what
and
was
R
going
him,
on
and then
in
he'll go
mid
towards the
lane.
bush.
Faker trying to play
Oh,
around
W
Scout's
trade.
ult still being down here, but takes a lot of
Oh.
damage back.
W trade.
As it is looking like a Leandri's first here for Sponge, or for Scout, excuse me.
I like when Faker
And
plays this
a
yet.
lot
He
of
gets
damage into
pooped on.
Faker. Looking for a second dragon
Went
now,
to
double
team.
dragon here for T1 would be pretty strong, especially considering the Ocean is already off the cards.
For pick potential,
Alright, what's
Hextech
the soul gonna be? What's the soul
always
gonna be?
needs to be mentioned, especially with the Jin in this
Inferno Soul.
composition.
Inferno
Could be really
Soul.
nice for setting up
Ocean.
individual
Oh,
walls and
it's
stuff. It's just going to be
Mountain.
Mountain Soul, which still very good, especially when you've got, you know, Akali and
This is
Xinjiao
so
in
bad
melee
for
range.
T1
Going
if
to be a lot
fucking
of
Nong should get
shielding
it.
on the side of T1 if they can pick it up alongside of the Karma.
Sion gonna love it, of course, as well as the Jarvan for the side of Nongshim. But they are significantly far behind in Dragons. But if you start to stack all of those resistances from the solo individual elemental dragons before you get to the soul, it could be even stronger.
Does he have item yet?
The tide of the game will have to shift. And it is interesting
Fucking
that
see,
despite
bro.
having control of the bottom
Nah,
lane
not
a lot
yet.
of the
Oh,
time
okay.
here and having that
That's
lead
the
down there, they did
Andrew's
not get
first
any
item for
dragons.
his, yeah.
Sponge is in
Oh,
trouble.
boy. Yeah, now he's going to flash away. He's going to be happy that he has that now, but even just the fact that he was standing near Owner, not respecting the amount of damage, not respecting how ahead he is. I mean, they're on the same amount of items at this point in time, but Owner very strong with the help of Faker. And now Taeyeon going to be pushed away, and Owner once again is in their jungle after pushing Sponge away. And this is becoming a bit of a snowball-y problem for Nongshim.
Hey, Root might buy some time here for Sponge to get over. He needs to rush over. Taeyeon completed his back, though.
Lance has flash. He's going to use it to predict there from Paze. Doesn't land, but the shot will.
Wait, Owner ganks mid and to invade into the bot lane pushing to gank.
Taken away.
Damn.
With the commitment of the back there from Taeyeon, it was going to be really tough for Sponge to come over and save the play.
This is why Blood's playing in the
really
video.
well there, and ends up being a big backfire.
If he dies, chance an egg.
Lens is punished. Also now down
just play
flash.
Glendon. What?
Watching this matchup does not
That's
feel
a
very
Scion.
exciting for anyone.
How
Somehow we're going to pan away.
Look at fucking.
Yeah, neither of them has skill pressure. Even if the Scion got the egg, if he's alone, like I don't think he's killing that egg. So at the end of the day, unless Doran was extremely overextended, I don't think Kingen can kill him. And then same thing for Doran against the Hollow Radiance here from Kingen.
With these thin margins, you know, in the mid and bottom lanes, junglers aren't really interested in impacting that top lane at all. All the action is happening really around the red buff of Nongshim this game, with the Karma lane's pressure and prio there, the dives have been up. Scout loses his gold lead, and so does Taeyeon. In fact, after that last play on the bottom side, it's an edge here for Paze that is picked up.
Oh, sure,
Angry Scion.
Yeah. Faker taking a bunch of damage, but just doesn't care because, again, Scion no kill pressure there, especially into Akali.
Is
As they're trying to set something up here, they're just trying to play around Owner as much as possible. Our team on the root comes in, the Pop Blossom is there, but Lahen's no flash means he just takes a
amplify ability
to the face.
Depending
Taeyeon
on
also
range,
getting poked away. Sponge same story for him. They just can't even exist against the three of T1 right now.
They're going to thin this wave out, but it's still pretty hefty here. T1 whittling down this turret. They're going in.
Yeah, they're going in. I'm not sure what Sponge was thinking there, just sticking around, just dies. And now Taeyeon trying to get something back. There's a lot of damage to
that's my jungler.
Taeyeon sees blood in the water, and instead
with actually jungle gap.
Man, you see that barrier pop, the life comes out of your face. You know, you are
actually
you forgot about barrier, you forgot about Paze's D key. He's gonna press it. And
King
man,
switching
his
whole team run it down.
You always want to go in that type of situation. You're
And
like,
he's the one who ganks bot lane as well.
The barrier denies it. Great reaction there from Paze to shut that down. And things go from bad to worse here for Nongshim in this mid game. I want to watch Sponge again here. So use his flag and drag here. A little bit of time buy from the Hens.
Coming this year?
And then as the wave comes through moments later, he decides to go in. And I'm not 100% sure.
He's so low.
Yeah, he's at half health.
Show.
But I'm sure we'll see a
not watched.
especially with what's going on
Finally.
recently.
My goat's back. My goat's
Bullet
back.
with level 12.
Owner just going to take this Rift out. Looks like, again, they cannot challenge them.
We don't give a fuck. Show the
This
replay.
is really just falling apart here completely for Nongshim right now. Azir significantly far behind. The Ezreal seems like that second item is
Maybe my
just not
goat
going to hit
wasn't
at the
watched on
spike they
Azir.
wanted. The
Maybe
Akali
Akali
is
really
already
is
starting to become a
the
threat.
problem.
Unless Nivea is just going to be permanent wave clear, zoning, and extra power around the map. We'll also get some additional levels as we'll see what happens here.
Reading for the cannon.
And he misses the ultimate.
Games, bro.
This is why Akali's so good in this matchup, because as Azir, you're like, in most situations, you're like, I'll just push them away. And Akali's like, no. You're dead.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that she's so mobile and she can avoid your soldiers, it's just so annoying to hit this champ when you're Azir.
Not only do you not get hit by the divide, but also you get kind of a free shuriken onto him because he's standing still while the divide is coming in. So it's like, well, if you time it right, it feels very good. They're trying to dive Doran, which is not easy. And they might be able to get his egg. Shield comes in from Area.
Your father Doran. Holy shit.
I think eventually
was he just bot lane?
Should be easy pickings.
This is a kill thief this game.
This Scion,
Gets a third one. At least they are able to secure the kill, get the egg, which is a win in itself. And
meanwhile,
yeah, Faker's getting this turret. It'll be their second of the game. This isn't even first brick here for Nongshim.
They got the Mountain Drake Soul point as well. That's their
Oh,
third
so
Drake
fun.
now. And
Free stats.
T1 are just kind of running away with this game. Gnome not really showing a lot of resistance so far.
Yeah, really not. They do get the turret. It's a lot of money to scout, but the money is traded on the opposite side. And Doran, I think he's pretty happy with
in this,
dying
bro.
for this because
Jin's
of
so
the
far
exchange
ahead.
they get on the other side. And this is just what T1 do really well, right? They know how to
Yeah,
play
Ezreal
both
knows
sides of the
like
map. They know where their weak
Nongshim's
point
team
is,
fight
and
is
they try
actually
to
really good
exploit the
because they
opposite side of the
actually
map.
have a tank.
Doran can buy so much time.
Yeah, but like
And
they got,
even
like,
with
negative
Carry, like Carrier
gold.
came over there, he might have been able to get away in,
I
another
think it's
circumstance, but
winnable.
so much
They
had to
just
be
need to
committed
get
to kill
some
him, and the kill
they
goes
get
over
some
to
catches
the
in the
Nico.
I
side
think it's
which is
winnable if like Azir,
just
more just
not a
Azir
good
and
time for
Ezreal.
Gnome right now. And because
Everyone else just
the
has to
game
go in.
state is so
Or
T1
peel.
this Akali is potentially going to start running away with the game. This Jin is so big. I just
Like,
don't know if we can have a
Kali,
conversation
though.
about the scaling front to back here anymore.
Yeah.
Wait, Scout's
That's really
Azir
what
was
you're
so
looking
good.
for if
What
you are
happened?
Gnome. It's like, okay, you've got Azir and Ezreal. Maybe when we hit
He's
2-3
not really dying
items
a lot, so
for
I think
this
that's like good enough.
combo, along with our very tanky
Yeah, I
Scion,
guess.
great engage with Jarvan and Nico. Like on paper, it's good as they're just gonna face
Yeah.
tick at T1, and
Like
that's
this,
gonna be the
right?
end
Oh.
of at least Keria.
He's gonna get the gold.
Who's now
Don't give it to
almost
Nico.
unkillable,
Oh,
it
okay.
feels like, in the Cataclysm, getting a lot of value out of his Crescent Guard. So it's only going to be the
baited.
support that Gnome
Baited.
do get.
Yeah, it looked like it could have been a lot worse there. Owner didn't have flash, just got it back. So it is going to be fine for him. Doran's got a
Wait,
big
they
push
just
in the
didn't
bottom
want,
lane.
they just
Does
didn't
have
want
TP.
Carrier to be WSAven.
Yeah, they get the slow, and that's the flash
True.
slam. The follow-up not really there. Meanwhile, Lahen's in a bit of trouble.
Faker's
As
getting...
Zerkin's going to land
Oh.
on him, and
Oh.
Faker takes
Okay,
him out.
just a pull.
Once again, we're being treated to Faker's Akali. As he's kind of just walking behind enemy lines. He gets his Shroud back, and he waits for the slam, goes back in, Taeun super low. Faker wants that kill,
Wow.
and he does get it. And
Oh,
he
I
will
thought
have to
he-
pay for it,
I
but
thought he
that just
lived,
means the
but
rest of
it's
T1 is
fucking-
here
oh, no,
to
coming
clean
out.
Got
up
sort
the
of
kill.
deleted.
Gnome once again over-indexing
Carrier's
into
Carrier
the one
KS?
kill.
That's crazy.
It's not going to work out for them as Scout, no dash, and is in a lot of trouble. As the stun does
Damn.
land, the root is there as well, and Doran picks up the kill with the icicle.
No,
And T1, I mean, almost feels like it's all over,
Wait,
but the
think of
grind
this
here
talent.
for
I'm
Gnome.
sure
Yeah,
it gets another charge.
Bit of a disaster for Gnome,
Wait,
frankly.
that's,
Okay,
that's crazy.
all right.
No, it's getting
You'll
cooked.
get an additional charge here as well. When the opt-in happens to look for that pick, you're giving T1 such an insane opportunity to get a skirmish that they didn't
Dodge.
even like they didn't even necessarily have any idea they were looking for, and they were just like, okay, I guess we'll turn this one. As this initially was pretty expensive here
This
to try
fight
to
was
catch
actually
Owner.
so long if you think
And then
about it,
Lahen's
because
is caught
Carrier
initially.
dies and just comes
And the worst of
joins
this
the fight
is
bad.
in
again.
the meanwhile, like they're messing up the engage onto Paige.
That would be
Like,
Faker,
everything was
though.
missed from Taeun. Lahen's flashes here when Faker has his activation of his ultimate to take him out. So that's just a summoner down for further fights. At this point, you're like, okay, we got to get Faker right. But this staying so long, giving the opportunity here for the rest of Team 1 to rotate over. They have Herald for team fighting is just a bridge too far. Not to mention the fact that Scout's TP was at an angle to where he couldn't join immediately.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
King
think that's really the main
took
issue.
so
Like
much
maybe
damage
if
from
they
Pace
have
there.
Scout there
Does
from
he
the
have any armor
beginning.
yet? Or was he just
I mean, they're
full
already
AP,
so far
full
behind,
MR?
so it feels like desperation out of them. But
King
you're not
is-
going to win a fight if Scout's not there from
Well,
the beginning.
he's got like
actually
hollow.
DPSing.
He's got a chain wrist.
Taeun can't
of
do it
armor.
alone, as he only now hits his 2-item spike. And it was already kind of a
Jin's gonna hit
desperate
so hard.
fight to begin with.
I mean, he already
And
is.
now, I mean, a
Let's
minute
go
away
ahead.
from Mountain Soul already. T1 have been stacking the Drakes very early on. And there really hasn't been an answer from Gnome. They only got the 3 grubs, but they have not been able to
Oh, shit,
side lane
Owner's,
push
like,
at all.
2 levels up.
Such a classic T1 game. And they had bottom prio.
Yeah, Owner's
Owner
just
set it
farming
up.
this guy's jungle.
He's 10
Like,
out of
clapping
14
his
KP
lanes.
in this
For
game.
real.
And you start to wonder, like, you know, what could have been with this Nongshim comp, what could have been with this Ezreal pick if they had played it a little bit better, if they had played it a little bit safer at times. But we'll
Does Shinzai
probably
go
never know.
GA
7,000
as well?
gold behind against this team that
I
is
think,
looking
like,
for,
you
as
can,
you say, a
like,
very
final
early. I
item.
mean, we're at 22.5 minutes when this
Final
dragon
item.
spawns.
Right.
Soul here, which makes it even more difficult for Nongshim to play
They
from
have to
behind.
fight this soul.
Yeah, Nongshim just grouping in bot, trying to get a push in one lane.
this
so they
game's
can group
over.
up and push into the objective, but their mid lane is in tatters right now. So
Unironically, I
the
think
fact that they didn't elect to go through mid lane,
win this
definitely a
fight.
bit of an issue. They're trying to go for an Akali now who has Rocket Belt. That's not really going to work. Yes, Faker did not have Flash, so that was the angle they were looking
Stay
for.
engaged.
Kingen is
That is-
slamming a bush over to the right side.
Kali's
while
got a
this Drake
flank,
is just going
bro.
down. Sponge, half health. It goes to 1 health, the
Oh,
Dragon.
no, it's
and
actually
Sponge
Raps.
going to get rooted up.
Like,
He's
they
in
have
a lot
too
of
many
trouble
goals.
as
Oh.
now the engage from the hands, but
Nah,
it's
it's
just
not gonna
kinda
do shit.
half-hearted
That's
as
Raps.
Faker in the back line just eating them for lunch.
Oh!
It's now Scout's nowhere for him to
shit.
run, although he does
That's
get away.
unlucky.
Funnily enough, Faker going
Bro was
very deep
greedy.
there and does pay the price. Pays, picks up a double
Close,
kill.
close.
Really the important part.
Mountain
is that
Yeah,
Soul.
Faker got
Mountain
Mountain
Soul's kind of
Soul.
crazy though.
And as you can see here, Taven is struggling to get through those shields.
1% chance
That
to
will leave him
lose.
behind. He gets away, but
This
you
is
know,
fucking
the prize
T1 we're
was
talking
already
about, bro.
gained. It was such a
Nah, but,
sloppy
like,
setup
they're a
here
bit
for
too
Nongshim.
clean.
Like, Kingen was
Like, if they're
on
wobbly,
the
like,
edge to
mid-
prevent
mid-game,
Faker from joining, but
early game,
they
then
go in
it's-
half-heartedly to look for a contest of the Dragon and
You
put
can
themselves
doubt.
in such bad position. Look at
Honestly,
Pace.
honestly.
Owen is
Do
playing.
no
Owen.
wrong here, and Lehens is just trying to peel for
And
their
Duran's
eggs.
not playing like a retard
Faker
the
having a
first time in
statement game
ages.
on this Akali. It does go a bit deep here.
Real.
Disrespecting
Keep him on
the
Anivia,
damage there
bro.
from Taeyeon and the Sand Soldier setup, but T1 get more than just the Dragon. They get several kills. Two of them going over to Pays in the team fight. He is now 7-2.
Yeah, also at least Faker got the flash at a Scout, so it's like, yeah, he dies, but they're so far ahead at this point, so the gold doesn't really matter. And getting a summoner out of Scout before a potential Baron is still going to be pretty huge. As it
Oh
does look
shit.
like they might want to go
Doran's
for
got
this Baron. Faker's in
most
bottom
damage?
TP.
Oh, yeah, he's fighting Sion on repeat.
And
That
Doran has
makes
TP
sense.
as well. Flash forward from
It's
Carrier,
actually
trying to get
fake
the root
damage.
to stick.
Fake damage.
Yeah, it does not.
It would have been Baron if potentially it does. So, I mean, even still, you got the flash committed there, but you get like it's an exchange where Flash doesn't get you any
Carrier
kills, but it gets you
Ona,
so much space on
crazy
Baron. And this is where
KDs.
Nongshim
It's a
has
shame
to now
Carrier
kind of
got
face
caught
check a
that
little
one
bit
time.
and try to
Yeah.
group because T1 especially so known to do these Barons in these types of situations. Faker has TP. His Flash just came back up as well. But it looks like they've got their eyes on the champions.
Oh.
Yeah, Owner just
shit.
going forward. He's got a Karma behind him. He's level 14. Does not care. The flash forward with the knock-up. Taeyun now chunked out significantly.
No to
I think
Baron.
maybe Baron is finally on the cards here for T1 with all the damage they just did. Doran sitting
Doran
at
had
a
the
decent amount of
Andrew,
mana, enough to
that-
really impact
that's
this Baron
actually
take here
over.
on the Anivia. Thanks for the extra damage, Taeyun, says
Wow.
T1
W
probably.
leash.
As they're going to commit the TP here, and they are going to look for a contest, but they have no setup here. Kingen on the flank.
Yeah, also, if T1 really want to, they can
Yeah,
just pull off
that's
the
pretty good.
Baron.
T1
His
don't
pace
have
is
ults.
going into no man's land. He did not join the team, as he was apparently on the wrong side of that fight. Did have to flash, but they get the TP out of Scout now.
They didn't have Crescent Guard, which is something I kind of hadn't really considered in terms of the turn. Without that, it's really difficult to actually drop Baron and look for the fight. Instead, they just opt to drop Baron and back away and not give Nongshim any in this game. Because stopping Baron and walking away doesn't mean that Nongshim get Baron. It doesn't mean you lose anything on the map. And you're already sitting on such a huge lead with Mountain Soul in tow.
Not Magi,
You're now
sorry.
thinking about
Roxy?
the only way this goes wrong is if we toss on Baron, right?
Who
Throw
did?
it away or
Oh,
lose
and
Elder
Void stuff. You
somehow
can usually Void stuff as
miraculously.
well.
So we just have to prevent those two things. And step one is
Yum.
not taking that Baron fight without Crescent Guard.
Yeah, definitay a good call.
What is that item?
We
on
do
the-
have 3
on
items
Israel?
now for
Endless
Taeyun,
Hunger?
so maybe they say,
that
okay,
good?
well, we've got an
Uh,
okay fed Ezreal. He's nowhere near Pays, don't get me wrong, but at
That's some
least
healing, I
he's got
guess,
some items
with
and
the
he can
Qs.
do some decent damage.
Endless Hunger can be quite potent if you have a longer fight and you are hitting all your abilities, as we've seen in the past. It's a really big spike for Ezreal,
Thanks,
but
Costas.
it's
Answer my
so
question.
premeditated on
Go.
having the setup that it's hard to imagine Nongshim will ever get.
Little root here on a Kingen, who's kind of a no man's land himself. He's able to charge into a wall and try to get over to his team. There's a flash out of him, but the chase is on from T1. Not going to over chase into the Scion, though, but here come the curtains. Sponge going to be slowed
still
up.
Crescent Guard.
Has to flag drag away. Takes a huge
Oh,
amount of damage
shit.
as now. Faker
Oh.
thinking about it. Goes in for the execution. Sponge, or rather Scout, meanwhile, just dies himself as he got rooted up by, I believe, Carrier. Or stunned by Doran, one of those things, as had to stick around and immediately died afterwards. That's 2 picks. And T1 are now looking at the Baron.
Looks like this time they'll get it for real. As Faker's going to head to the
boring
bottom
game.
lane and try to take out the last part of that
Next
turret
game's gonna
before
be
he does TP in if there is a contest. And Kingen here is just trying to control a jungle that has no relevance in
Surely
this
some
game.
Pyke.
With no dragon here, Soul already taken Elder moments away. It feels like T1 were doing the right call here and getting vision, doing all the set they need on the bottom side of the map to make sure they have total control. And Nongshim were trying to contest it when they had, well, I say Nongshim, it was Kingen who was trying to set up for a potential contest of said vision that backfired in a massive way.
Trying to get Faker here, and he is going to get knocked up, but guess who's there to back him up? It's Carry on Pays. And they just get him to safety. Nongshim trying to do whatever they can to try to collapse.
Kalio's going to come back
and they got the
like,
Baron,
every
like, they pulled
fucking
out the Baron so early, just
40
left
seconds.
Owner on it, so he's able to
Picks up
finish
a
it
fucking
off
rod.
to
That's
back
kinda
Faker
crazy.
up and be there. Like you're
What do they
saying,
say?
all those
Knocked
members of
up
the
without
team that were there
laughing.
to make sure he
So
does not
funny.
get caught or
Knocked
killed.
up.
It's just a really clean map play here from T1, and now
Kinda
they
gives
can
them
use
knocked
this
up,
Baron
bro.
for about 30 seconds here to gain and maintain Prio on the Elder Dragon, which is really the final step left for them
Doran
to get
level
Exodia in
19.
this game. And they have 4 Dragons, Soul, they have
3
Baron,
level lead.
they get this Elder.
That's
And
what
the
I
game couldn't be more over about this. I mean, it's pretty over, but
Oh,
Owner
go.
really doing everything.
Oh no?
Maybe trying to bait Owner in if I give him the benefit of the doubt. Meanwhile, Owner's like, yeah, I welcome it. I will jump into 4
Owner's
people
just
right
fucking
now.
shit, bro.
So Crescent Guard is over. The ult goes into
Oh,
Faker.
wait.
He's pretty low, but he has his Shroud still. Able to get away with the help of Carrion.
Wow, and he
This
lives.
is not exactly the cleanest damage from T1.
This is really awkward for them to lose all this health right before Elder. Pays is pushing mid.
Sponge might just die here. That's the jungler of Nongshim dead. And now
Well,
he
how
gets
the fuck
scalped by
did
him
Sponge die?
Lonesome on the top side of the map. And he will eventually go down. Faker's like, I guess he'll clean him up. Meanwhile, we do have, looks like Doran just tanking everything on the bottom side. He's actually pretty tanky, and they say, we don't need the Elder, we just need to kill them. And that they do. As
he did good, GA.
That was a fantastic ultimate from Kingen and all of the chaos there, but ultimately it's not
Nongshim's
enough.
kinda
And
got
even with
rolled.
those low health bars from T1, feels like everybody's got a GA in this one. Between Owner having the egg there from the
End
Anivia,
fucking
and
game,
he's
bro.
so
This
far
wasn't going to
away
be the
and being so
interesting
safe
game. It's the
inherently.
game after the next
And
one.
that is just
Right.
the end of the game. T1 will win it, sub 30 minutes. They made sure they dotted their I's and
Wait,
crossed
Doran's
their
darting
T's
it.
to guarantee the
He's calm,
victory.
bro.
Made some really decisive calls to pull off the
Wait, this guy's
Baron,
trying to
for
mog.
The game
example,
even ended.
and to fight in the enemy jungle and to get that commitment onto Kingen when he was trying to contest there while they were putting up that vision.
He's scratching his head. He's like, what the fuck? How did I win?
They first picked the bottom side prio. They stacked dragons. And we're able to hold on to that win con all game long.
In
And
the,
Nongshim
in
just
the
could not even
2026 Worlds
hold
Finals
their
video
Ezreal
clip, it's
lead
going
in
to
the
be
bottom
Faker
lane.
saying, this year is
And
your
Faker
year to
bounces back in a
BDD.
big way on the opposite side of the Akali
Nah, he's going to beat him.
Azir matchup. Finally, he was the one.
Nah, he's gonna say
getting
some
the
more
solo
farming
kill
shit
on
and
the
win
Azir.
worlds again.
Yeah, definitely gotta feel good for him. Doran with the flex Anivia to the
Go.
top lane, no real answer for him. They picked Sion into it, who notably
You
doesn't
see,
do very well into Anivia
it's,
walls,
he
so
wasn't
they just
performing
wanted
bad.
a
It's
frontline tank.
Arthritis was just acting
And
up,
it
you know.
ended up just being
Arthritis,
Doran
like,
was able to do whatever he
weird.
wanted.
W
And
code,
so from the
W code.
draft into the execution in the game, T1
I mean,
definitely
Cope.
looking
That's
on
what
a
happened.
different tier compared
I have
to
insider
Nongshim, who
knowledge.
have not had any
Oh,
luck
okay.
against
He has insider
Italy or
knowledge.
But I've
Gen
been
T, and now
doing that well,
T1
bro.
for their 3 matches
Oh,
in
you
a
have
row.
it?
They're gonna have a
I got
second
it, I
chance
got
here
it.
for game number
Wait,
2
who wins?
Lol.
as we head into
I
the break.
released the script ages ago. Wait, I gotta share
Oh,
it
that
out,
was
I gotta-
fake.
No, that's the real script. Like, actually. They emailed it to me.
The big Yahoo he built you.
No,